Hey, everybody. Sorry for the little delay by a couple of seconds. I had dif- technical difficulties with my handling of stuff. Uh, if it's your first time, I'm JD, aka Raging Cajun Comics. You can find me here, usually on Fridays, every other Friday, and you find me on Instagram or usually hanging out with my brothers, the Low Grades, which is later tonight. Usually hang out there on the second half of their show. So if you want to see me chill with them, they do great content, always fun and games over there. I appreciate anybody who watches the rewind, or this is an open, basically stream. So if any of my friends or people who want to come out, you can jump on. I threw the link in there, and if you want to show off some of your haul or just hang out, that's what it's all about here. I'm going to show what I got the last 2 weeks. I picked up I put on my Instagram a banger for me because I love this artist and I've been waiting to grab this. I didn't collect back then during this period, so I missed out on this great cover, and I finally it dropped in my hands. So I'm super stoked. So I can't wait to show it off. But we'll just say hi to the chat before we start, and then we'll keep going and see what happens if anybody joins. Haven't had a guest in a while, so that's kind of sad. But you know what? The chat always keeps me laughing and going. Uh, Rod, what's up? Number one right there. Appreciate you, brother. Hope everything's over there. Everything's cool over there. Please follow him. He always shows his hauls, and he used to have an art show that I haven't seen him do in a while. So hopefully he brings that back. But a real cool cat. I met him twice on his show. I had a blast. Gonna have to get with you, brother, because I need a comic and collectible treasures with you. See if we can work out a time and do a show on a Friday if you're free. There's my other brother right there, Mike. What's up, Evil's Comics? Appreciate you, brother. Stopping by and checking out the show. This is my longtime friend, Fortnite brother, Kevin Smith brother. He's just the brother all around. I appreciate you. Uh, Taking some time off right now, I believe, but working it over there, and I hope it's not snowing like the East Coast where you're at. I hope you're doing okay. You and your bro. Tell him I said what's up. Me saying hi to everybody, so don't worry about him. Present. All right, thanks, brother. Yeah, he's just a cool cat. Always been my brother, and I nope, 70 here. Oh, cool. At least it's not as cold as other places. I hope everybody's okay, especially the East Coast people. Um, like in New York and everywhere in that area. Man, I saw that snow. Fable through his video. Man, I was like, wow, that's a lot of snow. Not a snow person, slip and slide and just clumsy altogether. So I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody's safe, and let's get to it. Right, this is gonna be usually a 30-minute stream, just showing off what I picked up, and if the chats just move along, it moves along. We're going to start with the figure. I showed this off at the low grades, but I was doing construction last week and they finished this week, so I didn't think it was gonna be done, but it was done early, so I was able to do this last minute. I picked this up on eBay. I didn't want to get a 3-pack of it, and the only character I wanted, of course, was Gambit. So he's in his X-Men uniform. So this is Marvel Legends. Didn't want to get the 3-pack. Didn't want to pay $50, $40, $70, whatever the retail price is. So I paid $12. Shipping $3, so $15 in total. I'm happy to have it. I have the 2 Marvel Legends, which is that. And sorry, something foul, but nothing important. But I'm happy I got it. So it comes with this, his stick and his changeable hands, his man purse. I'm surprised it didn't come with his trench coat, which is weird, but I'm happy to have that. So this is pretty cool. This is basically 2 weeks of grabbing stuff. Went to Fizz Comics. Shout out to one of my LCSs, which they buy collections and sell everything from baseball cards, hockey cards, comic cards, wrestling cards, any kind of card, and comics. anything they could get a hold of, that's what they do. So I went down there, and they had this G.I. Joe 1 in 10 #1, a real American hero, the Saturday morning edition variant. So 1 in 10 by Billy Penn. I've never seen it before, or never heard of the Saturday morning one. I missed out on this, so for the price, they gave me a good price. I ended up picking it up, so I was like, hell yeah, I'll take that. And then he enticed me with Transformers. He knows I love Transformers, and he had this cover for Void Rivals. It's a second print, and it's by Jason Howard. It's the Quintessons, so I was like, hell yeah. Anything with Transformers, you're going to sucker me in. But I don't have a Quintessons cover, so I was like, oh, all right, I'll take it. Never read Void Rivals, which I should, because I think I only technically I think I only have 3 issues. The #1, because it had Jetfire on there, and he's one of my favorite characters, as you see right there, after Optimus Prime. And I was like, oh, Jetfire cover, yes, please, I'll take it. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, you gotta love the Transformers. So I picked that up, and then got my Nightwing book. Went to my LCS 132 regular cover by Dexter Soy. It's a cool cover. Can't wait to read this one. I'm like 5 issues behind, so I need to get on that. And then I went to made it about issue 6. Oh, okay. I trust your judgment, recommendation. Good read, or is it an okay read? Because your reviews are always spot on, and I trust your opinion. So leave me a comment, brother, right now, so I can see if it's worth actually getting. Then I totally missed out on the Magic Colossus. What's good? Oh, okay. Then I'll see if I can get a couple more issues and read up to 6 and check it out. Because I usually like reading 5 issues, wait for 5 issues, and then I ties into, oh, then I have to, oh, damn. Okay, I'm missing out. I definitely have to pick it up then. Okay. Thanks, brother. And I picked up this 1 in 25 ratio of Magic and Colossus. Love Magic. She's a great character. And yeah, all us guys like Magic. Right up there with Psylocke, Rogue. So I just picked that up. I was totally into that. For $10 on a ratio, I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. And then I found another 1 in 25 ratio. This one's assignment Black Cat #1, which came out just recently, a couple of months ago. It says assignment the Mo. So I totally love this cover, especially has the cat right there in the background, which is pretty badass. Any Black Cat cover, pretty much I pick up because why not? One of my favorite characters. And then continue with G.I. Joe, the continuation from the IDW or Real American Hero. Image has done both. So they have their own tie-in that ties into the Transformers, and I guess of Void Rivals, which I should have known. I picked this up, and I got the blank cover with it. And this is the Chris Honeyham cover. So it shows the 2 new Joes, which is on this side. Oh, we have a special guest. Hell yeah. What's up, Mike?
How's it going, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Let me lower my fan because it's like 89 degrees over here today. And I had my AC going, but it's taking its time to turn on. How's it with the 70 degrees over there, brother?
It's nice. It's nice. We really haven't had a winter. Like, I want to say like 4 days of intense cold, maybe 3 days of snow. That's it. I ain't
Okay,
tripping.
that's cool. I would think you would have got a little of it because you're where you live. It's snow all over there. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe on the part where it was all above, I thought you would have would have been hit a little, especially cold places.
Mm, Aurora and Denver is kind of south, like
Yeah.
south of all the mountains. So I
Oh, okay.
mean, like the mountains get hit hard, but like, and then on top of that, Denver's like protected by the mountains. So like everywhere else will get hit, like Aspen and stuff like that, Longmont, but like Denver and Aurora, not so much.
Oh, good. Well, at least you didn't get any of those crazy people. Because if you see Fable's picture, dude, I was like, wow, that's too much snow for me. Like, I'm glad I kind of live in a desert, so I don't really get that. So I'm happy about that.
Getting that in a desert would be weird.
I think my mom told me when uh, I wasn't born. I think my first sister, the oldest, she's already going to be in her late 70s. It was back then is the last time she seen it snow, like in California, which is crazy. So I was like, oh, okay. I've never seen snow other than when I went to the mountains, and I felt both times I got injured, and I go, me and snow are done. Never going somewhere where it snows.
I didn't really experience snow until I moved here, like the last 4 years I've been here, because I came here at like the beginning of 2022. Um, and you learn stuff really quick. Like the snow hurts. Like when people have that argument about like what's better, the cold or the warm. Like yeah, you can get sunburned, but that's about it. I mean, like most people carry drinks around with them. Like no, the snow you're talking about that it blinds you. You can look at the snow and it'll blind you.
Yep.
Like being outside, like it literally cuts your skin if it's cold enough. Like there's little ice, like microscopic ice pieces in the
Yeah.
no, the snow is not fun.
No.
It's not pretty. It's always shown in these like beautiful photographs or videos, and like no, when you see real snow, it's not pretty. It's all like nasty and
Yeah. But those two times I fell, I got cut. Like I went snowboarding, and before I even went snowboarding, I slipped. And of course, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to hit a soft spot, so it's not going to be that hard. No, I hit a rock and cut my hand. So I went to the first aid, and there was my day. He's like, oh, yeah, you need stitches. You're not going to go snowboarding today. So first time I went to see snow, it was a no-no. And then 2, 3 years later, I go back and I'm like, all right, you know what? It was just bad luck. Let me go. So I get on again a snowboard, and this time I made it to the hill. So I was like, okay, today's a better experience. Nothing happened. Go down the hill, and this guy cuts me off, and I lose control. Of course, I don't land on a soft spot. I hit another rock, cut my leg.
that's
I'm
crazy.
done.
I've fallen
I said,
twice. I've
yeah,
fallen twice, but
you have
I've
better
fallen
experiences.
twice. But I haven't got cut or anything. But like, because I normally fall on my butt, and I have I would say a substantial rump, so I got a good amount of padding back there. Um, but that's the fear is falling. Like I already have. Like most people don't know this, but I'm kind of wonky when it comes to certain things, and walking's not one of my best like suits, even though I'm athletically bitten. Yeah, but so this like walking over ice is not fun.
No.
Like you have to be extra careful. Like honestly, I want to buy some cleats. I want to get like some slip-on cleats when I go outside. I forget what they call them, not cleats, but they call them something. I don't know. And
Yeah.
then people wear them over here too. You'll see them on. They'll have like spike shoes.
Right. Save you from falling and eating that hard ice, man. Totally would do the same thing. So you've been Well, officially, pick up anything this week, or were you all low key?
Smoking.
Okay.
Officially, I haven't bought a new comic since Batman Deadpool.
Yeah.
That was the last time. I do everything digital. Everything. I still read quite a bit. Like this week, I've been behind. But like you, I let stuff build up. Give me one second.
Yeah.
Originally, I'd read the first 6 issues of Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, but then stopped and let them build up. So yesterday, I went through and read both those. Like I read from Absolute Wonder Woman 7 to I think they're on issue 14, 15, something like that. I can't remember. Might be 16. And then I read the same with Batman. Batman having a little more because they had the annual and the Arkham
Yeah.
special. I read through all those. So I hadn't read really any DC. I've been reading nothing but indies lately for some reason. So I went back and I'm catching up on that event, the DC KO. So I went back and started at the beginning of that. And like I want to say currently I'm like halfway, but I'm reading all of it, the tie-ins,
Nice.
that's one of the wonderful things about uh, digital. Like I only pay one premium price, but like being able to read all the tie-ins without physically having to buy them, because honestly, there's like two already in this event where it's like, oh, I'm glad I didn't buy that one. Like,
Yeah. I try to stay away from Titans because there's too many books. Like I used to do it back in the day. You know, when you get the Blackest Night, then you had to get Green Lantern Corps. Then they had the Blackest Night, Wonder Woman, Blackest Night, Superman, Blackest Night, Teen Titans. It just got too expensive.
it's already too much. I've done the
Yeah.
same thing with like Metal. I did the same thing with like Night Terror. Like, and it's just like, I mean, I like having the complete overall story, but at the same time, I look back at some of these issues and it's like, just this one issue just pertains to that little bitty segment of story that happens during this event. It's like, do I need that in my collection? It's like,
Yeah. I know what you feel, man. I did it back in the 90s, 2000s, early 2000s when they did all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm sticking to 4 issues, 5 issues, and that's all I'm buying. I don't do tie-ins anymore. Like if there's a cover that blows, my mind, I'm gonna pick it up because I
yeah.
have a lot of covers, which I do love, and I just FOC'd my LCS for a couple more covers for the following 3 months. I was like, "Ow, I want that cover," so I ordered all that. So it turned out to be a lot of books still, but as far as tie-ins, I don't touch them anymore. I think I'm gonna try the digital room like you. I think I'm gonna have to move to that.
Or wait for the trades, because the trades usually collect it all in a nice, neat little package, because the
Yeah,
trades or once they do the complete events, they usually incorporate all the side books. That's not like, unfortunately, from I want to say previous events before DC's Metal, like 2017, I wasn't buying any of the side. So I mean, the only way I was reading them was I'd wait for the trade to come out, and then I'd go back and read like the couple of issues I was missing or whatever. I did that with a lot of the different 52 series. Like I remember Forever Evil was one of them, and Forever Evil had like so many different little like offshoots and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait. And when it came out, I just bought the 2 trades that came with it, and I read like the 4 issues I was missing. I was like, all right,
yeah, it's a trap. So you have to decide when you want to. Like I'm not a trade guy. I think 4 omnibus in my whole collection. I love single issues, but especially I considered myself an old soul where I collect old books and you smell the comics. I bring it up all the time. I love smelling 1960, 1970, 1980 comics. To each their own. To me, it's history. When a person goes to a library and just to an old library and smells a book when they open it, that's me. Yeah, I see you.
but a relay an antidote
Yeah,
from my life, something that really happened. And I'm gonna scare the shit out of you, but There's something to be wary about because I am what they call a bookworm and a book dragon. See, most people are familiar with bookworm, but they're not familiar with the term book dragon. But I mean, if you can correlate the beast with what it does, basically it's a hoarder of books, you know, and that's kind of what we are in the comic
Yeah.
book world. We are a hoarder of
Yep.
books. Okay, so my wife, she was a big book smeller. She wasn't a big book reader, but she loved like how each individual book had its own smell, and
Yeah.
she would smell like every. And I buy books by the bundle, you know. I'm always at thrift stores, comic shops, you know. To this day, I still buy a lot of like just regular novels. I read
Yeah.
a bunch of. Um, so every book I bought, she would read and stuff. And that there was one incident where she read a book, and lo and behold, it has some black mold in it. She got real sick and had to go to the hospital. So I warn you, just be careful when you're smelling those books,
Yes,
especially
I
when they're
look at
going.
them before I smell them. I do have the part where yes, there is mold, and if there's a rusty like staple and stuff, yeah, I'm not gonna smell that book. But I inspect it, and if it's in good condition, then I just like
I'm
the
just
smell of it.
saying, you know,
Yeah, it's just
yeah, but
history. It's just I don't
I
know.
mean, but that's the case when it comes to everything, right? Because there's
Yeah,
this huge debate, and it's not just with comics, it's not just books, it's because we're at this point in the world where digital and physical are meeting two different barriers, right? And with collectors and stuff like that, and people not in the know about the whole like discontinuation of physical media as a whole, you know, because I mean, it's not just comics we're talking about. I mean, they're and each little division of these categories, like for instance like video games, it's due to, you know, plastic uses, and we're running out of like servers and blah blah blah, and you know, it's like with movies they're talking about they're not doing anymore because they don't sell as much, and you know, I mean, there's a little like reason why they're we're getting close or on the cuff to these things, like okay, this is the last comic we're gonna print, you know. I don't think, you know, that's that question. Are we going to see it anytime soon? I don't think so. But I mean, the way things are going, shit, the question gets real, it gets more prevalent every year about the physical versus the digital. And I'm like a pro physical person, but I also like, for me, I'm more like overall, I'm more about the story and the art. So I mean, any way I can get it, I am, you know, I mean, so that's why the digital thing works for me, and I understand why it doesn't work for everybody, because in the digital thing, there's no collectability. You know, there's nothing I can state like, hey, look at this comic I just got that I clicked on, and it went to my box so I can read it. You know, like
it's
the
it's a thin line though. Like uh I can make an exception. I think you probably fall into the same categories where room storage is a factor. And that's one part I don't think I want to give up, which is comics. Like physically, I like touching them. Like movies, I moved into the digital world because I just have it on my Apple TV and I just click on it and I don't
yeah,
have to have a box. I don't have to open it. I don't have to put it in the machine. I don't have to
don't have
store
to
the,
wind it.
yes, I don't need to do any of that. So like in the movie aspect of it, yeah, I converted where everything's digital, and I don't mind that. But as far as the comic part, I think you're more of a person who can move into the new world. Where I think I'm a dying breed. Where
You're still struggling, yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
okay,
hard for
so
me.
like there are caveats for me with the digital reading because there are certain books that just don't work digitally. And
Yeah,
I'm not, I mean, you're talking about Miss in my, I've been reading digitally now, maybe like 2 years, maybe a year solid, but like, and I use like three different apps for it, but like, um, there's, I want to say 2% of that I've come across. There's certain books where they're artsy and they're like sideways books or stuff like that, and they just don't they, it's, you can still read them and look at them, and it's not that it doesn't read, it's just more of a pain to read because of
yeah,
the way it was published, kind of thing. There's certain other things, like if you ever wanted to read one of the magazine size comics that we have, which nowadays is, I don't even, I mean, yes, we have standard size comics, but I mean, you're talking about we have ash cans, we have treasury size, we have, I want to say there's like seven different standard size comics, and if you're trying to look at a treasury edition or a magazine version or even an ash can version, they're all really weird to look at. It's like magazines, they only give you like quadrants of a page. You get like one quadrant, and then you read or look at that part, and then you got to move to another
Yep.
one. So that part I don't like. And I want to say we're still working on some aspects in that, because I can remember when digital comics were first online, like, back when YouTube first started in like 2010s, and it was a pain in the butt to read then. I was not a fan of digital comics. Like I didn't think they were going anywhere because of the way they were doing it. Because the way they were doing it back then was just like one long, like just one picture, and you basically had to like scroll down. You couldn't zoom in. Like, no, that it was a pain in the butt. Um that's funny. On everything else, I've already moved to the digital thing, like movies. And the only reason movies is not due to space, it's because I can't really get them. Like Walmart over here doesn't sell movies anymore. They do selectively, but like, I mean, you're talking about most of the movies that come out. By the time Walmart gets them, I've already bought it on digital just to watch it. Or, um, but see, the movie thing doesn't scare me so much. Like I've had the Voodoo count, like, and it's changed names over the years, but it's still the same count. But like I've had a Voodoo account, I think since God, like 2003, and it's still the same account. Like now it's Fandango at Home, I think as it's called now or whatever. But like you're talking about, right now my library and my digital library on there is like, I think I have over 1,000 movies and
Yeah.
like TV shows. I have like, I want to say I have like 60 or 70 like complete series, something like that, that I've just, and it's over the years. It's not like all this was bought at one time, but like, I mean, so I haven't had so much fear there. I've only had one issue when it comes to like digital things, and it's with music. Like I can remember I bought, like, when Apple Music was a thing. I mean, not Apple Music, when Amazon Music was a thing. I put a lot of money into like buying, soundtracks and singles and stuff like that. And then one day they were just like, "Yeah, we're getting rid of Amazon Music. All your music's gonna move to YouTube." Which, I mean, YouTube, it's already free music on there. Like I don't
Yeah.
own any of it. No, that shit pissed me off. Um, so I want to say on my Amazon Music thing, I had like hundreds of like soundtracks. Like I had put some. I like daily. I was just dropping money and stuff like that. Like I'd buy a single here. I had whole, no, it was horrible.
See, like I have all my CDs ever since since I was a kid. So my first CD was Def Leppard. You have three. I
Mm.
have over 800 CDs. And my
I have.
wife was like, "Are you gonna get rid of those?" I'm like, "No, these I have to see." Because I love music. I think we
I
discussed this
love.
on
I,
the
lo-
low grades.
I love music.
Yeah, I sing every day. I do it at work, and people just like, "How do you have all these songs in your head?" I don't know if the only thing I'm smart at is storing music in my head and covers. Oh yeah.
That's and
Show that again.
the funny thing is, I have this on vinyl. I own the digital. Like this is one of my favorite albums of all time. Like
Yeah.
I love Meatloaf.
Yeah,
He when
that's
when
a good
he
one.
when he died. When he died, that was one of those deaths that hurt me because he was a big part of my life growing up. And it's funny, he was one of the people that I was bullied. Like, because I don't know about you, but I suffered a lot of like bullyism when it came to my music preference growing up, especially in the like middle school and teenage years. I got picked on for listening to Prince. I got picked on for listening to like George Michael or certain rap groups, stuff like that. That I can remember quite a different thing. But I don't know how many other people have been musically bullied. But
I guess, well, because I didn't wear glasses before and my hair was short, and I guess you can say I copied my brother who was what they call a cholo. He was in a gang. I was not in a gang, but you look up at your big brothers and just try to copy the way they dress. So people were kind of like intimidated by me when I was a little kid because
Yeah.
I was a little bit taller than everybody. I lived in an Asian culture, majority was Asian people. So I was taller than all of them and I was bigger than all of them. So they wouldn't bother me. And I was a guy who listened to George Michael's, Prince, uh, or OMD. I listen to, freaking, I'm from California. So of course, NWA, Easy E, I listened to all of that. And my nephews used to be DJs. So I listened from disco, the late disco, from I Love Men, to Diana Ross. So I listened to everything. So that part didn't bother me. Like I didn't get that part because I think they were scared of me. What album can you listen to without skipping any songs?
Some of those are cheap because I can grab like albums where I can put like I could pull this album. This is the soundtrack to The Sandman from
Yeah,
Netflix. Um, okay, so I was talking about physical media, right? This is
yeah,
probably the one physical media that I still go nuts for. Well, I will say novels because I do have like novels on pre-order. Like Stephen King's got a new one he's dropping in October. I've already pre-ordered that one. Like Connor French has a new one dropping in October. I got that one. Like man, didn't I mean I got novels, but like as far as like new novels, it's usually like thrift, but new albums, that's different. Like I go
yeah,
nuts over new albums. I actually like this year I've been to like three listing parties, like, and I, bought the album that day. I got like that's what I was grabbing was an album I can that the to the question Sheena answered.
yeah. I was gonna ask you, Mike. Answer your the question first from Sheena. What album can you listen from start to finish?
I have a bunch. When I was a kid, not so much. I skipped a lot. And back in our days, because I'm an 80s baby. So back in our days, it was, originally cassettes and then it moved to, I
Yeah,
mean, I was around when 8 tracks were still there. My dad hung on to 8 tracks forever. So that was like every car ride was like, hey, let's put on an 8 track. And Dad, we're using like cassettes, no, so I went to cassettes and then CDs and all those good things. I want to say out of my favorite format, like CD is my favorite format, but like sound quality, I love vinyl the most. But
yeah,
vinyl is just it's so easy to damage and like it's just been an issue. It's like people don't realize even though vinyl has come back, there's still a big gap of years where they didn't do any vinyl. So if you have like an artist that came like my I have a bunch of artists that I would love to get albums from, but they don't have vinyl from those years, and they just haven't done them. But that's like Marilyn Manson's like beginning years. His first couple albums, they just weren't on vinyl.
yeah.
So,
Brother Steve, I'm
no,
talking about music, brother.
but okay. So this is, and a lot of people are like, "Oh no, new music sucks." And man, I love new music, especially like exploring and finding new artists and stuff like that. But Billie Eilish has been a big one, and thanks to Fortnite, I was brand new when they did the collab with Billie Eilish. So it was like I think at that time she had already dropped like 3 or 4 albums or something like that. This was her new one that she dropped like right when they added her to. So I mean, it was a fun like listening journey for me getting to experience this new singer that everybody was loving and blah, blah, blah. But I fell in love with her. But this album right here, I love this album. And like
Yeah,
not only that, but it's one that I can play all the way through. I love every song. Like, but there's a bunch of artists I could do that with. Lady Gaga is one of them. Every single one of her albums, like I can do that, like where I don't have to skip a song. But there's certain artists I do love, and they've dropped certain albums where it's like every album on there they're like I think 30 Seconds to Mars is like that. There's like a
yeah,
couple albums they've done where it's like every hit will be there and then it's like one in the middle will be this weird like different take and I'm like, it doesn't really hit so much.
yeah. Like my old albums, Key Sweat, R&B
Ooh,
singer,
I like Keith Sweat.
Make It Last Forever, his first album. I can listen through track 1 through 9
Mm,
nonstop. I will listen to the whole album. I have it in vinyl and on CD, and actually I had it in cassette. It got thrown out by accident because I wouldn't have thrown that out. I'm a hoarder, you know that. When it comes to stuff like that, so "Make It Last Forever" by Keith Sweat is one of my all-time favorite albums of all time. I can listen through that. Also, brand new. I don't know who introduced me, but Chapel Roar. Uh, Diaries of that album. I can listen to. That girl can sing, and
I could tell you probably if I had to guess, this would be our friend Lady F. Like, she's the biggest Chaperone fan I know.
yeah,
She's the one. She's the reason why I got into Chaperone because I had not heard about her, and I think she had just done like her Tiny Desk performance, and Caroline was all like rubbing and raving, and she was like, "Oh, check this out! Check."
yeah,
Okay, at that time, I still wasn't a Chaperone fan. It wasn't until she dropped her more recent album that like really won me over, but it made me go back and look at her other music a little different. And now I have a couple songs off her older albums that are my favorite. That there's one song, it like touches me to the core, and it's like it's a song that can be read like either way. Like it's a romantic song, so you could take it like she's singing to her lover, or she's in retrospect singing, you know, toward the lover towards her kind of thing. But it's I think the song's called "Okay Baby."
yeah,
But that song right there, it just gives me chills, and it's like life reflecting kind of thing. Just you know, stuff that's happened in my life, like conversations that have come out and how reflective they've been, you know, in
yeah.
retrospect, kind of thing.
Um,
No, but Apple Roan's good.
yeah, I dig that album. I just bought the vinyl. I even bought the mini. My last FriYay I showed. There's a mini one that has two songs. And it comes with Pink Pony and Naked in Manhattan. Uh,
That's probably my favorite song. I sing Pink Pony Club all the time, and it'll just pop in my head, and I'm walking down the street, Pink Pony
yeah,
Club.
I do it at work, and everybody looks at me. They're all, "How the hell do you like that song?" I love music. I go, I don't care if it's catch and it has great lyrics. I'm gonna sing it. If it
It
just gets
makes
me bobbing,
makes you
I'm gonna
feel
sing it.
good, you know,
Yeah,
get you dancing. You know, the more of that, the better. That's why, like, some of my like I have like serious music loves, and then I have what I call like comedic music loves, like
yeah,
LMAFO with the party animal stuff, and
yeah,
I love stuff like that, like the like if it gets you out of your chair, gets you dancing kind of thing, especially like seeing people that you would never expect to get up and dance. If the song can do that, like I love music like that. I'm
yeah.
not gonna knock I'm not gonna knock any music. You know, to each his own kind of thing. The only music I'm not so heavy about is country music. Every other music I adore. Like, I mean, I'm talking about all the way from classical to, and most of my favorites are from
Excuse me.
like 50s, 60s. You know, that kind of.
Hip thrusting into it. Yeah, well, that too. All of it, like you said, music is universal. Brother Steve, I agree. I walk at work and then I'm just singing, you know what, today, what's in my head, and I'll just start singing it. I even have members sing with me sometimes, and then my boss just starts laughing. He's like, "How the hell do you do that?" I go, music hits everybody differently in a good way, and it makes the person smile. You can make a
It
person
does.
smile, get sad, cry, and it can hit them to the core, and just depending on what moment they're in. And that's why I love music.
You're talking about music's gotten me through like some of the worst times of my life, gotten me over relationships, over divorce, you know, stuff like that. You know, I mean, I don't think there's any other medium, you know, that could do something like that. Not movies, not music, not games, not comics. And,
Yeah,
like, I mean, they all have their place and time, but when I come down to it, music's that one, you know, that when I'm really hurt or also really happy, you know, it's
yeah.
right there. Because
Uh,
I walk around with the soundtrack. Like I almost 90% of the time, like if I'm not talking or listening to some dialogue or something like that from a movie or something, I'm almost always listening to music.
Nice. Hey, everybody who's here, Sheena, Steve, Rod, if you're still here, what is one of the albums from you guys that you can listen from track one to end? And I want to hear that because I would love to know what you guys just listen to also because there's too many albums for me that I can listen from top to bottom where I don't skip a song. Like
There's a
Tamia is
bunch.
another R&B artist that her first album uh, is a great album. The Cure, their first album is amazing. I can listen to for me, it hits. I love the music.
I like The Cure, but
Yeah,
for me to go through the whole album, I don't know if I could be truthful and say yeah. And there's some huge artists like that, like Bon Jovi and stuff like
yeah.
even Michael Jackson. I love Jackson, but there was I can remember like especially some of his later albums where I liked the majority of it, but there was a couple I'd be like,
The Wish album. Have you listened to the Wish album from The Cure?
yeah, I have. The Whip album's good.
Yeah, I can listen. Just the instrumental parts where they start before they start singing takes me to another place, and
Mm.
that's just me. It hits different for everybody, but that's another group that I could do. You know, I can just play that over. And
For
hey,
me,
what's up, brother?
I have like favorites kind of things where I could do that with like I want to say their first like 3 or 4 albums, like Soundgarden was one of them.
Yeah,
I can go through all their albums and jam. You know, I had no qualms with them. But the see, okay, so growing up, mine's either going to be like either heavy hip hop rap or it's going to be like metal and like grunge and stuff. Or my kind of where my music, especially through like high school and like middle school, that kind of stuff. But like, so Bush is a big one where I can go through like their first couple albums and like honestly, their first couple albums have more like history with my story kind of thing, my background, my life history, because like certain songs were big during a certain parts of my life. Like I honestly, I think Glycerin is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my life. And it's
yeah,
funny because half the song makes no sense. Like Bad Moon What again? What?
yeah,
What? Um I love Gavin Rossdale. No, but but there's I want to say in every genre I have my favorites kind of thing. What's up,
yeah.
Byron? What's up, Kevin? Um and I want to say the older I've gotten, it's grown in a more eclectic way. Like I want to say because growing up it was all Americanized. Well, because I want to say growing up it was what we had on the radio or what we had on MTV or what we had on VH1.
Yeah.
Those were I want to say were like my 3 outlets. So like there's a lot of stories out there where we're the same age group, but they're heavy into grunge or they're heavy into punk or they're heavy into ska. Where I came from, we didn't really have a garage scene, and that wasn't a thing in Houston in like the 80s and stuff like that. If anything, we had more of like a hip hop and rap like
Yeah.
scene that we did like, you know, like these garage style bands. I remember the first time I even heard of the term garage style, which had been around for about like 10 years, was probably with Metallica, which is kind of sad because that was when they had like commercialized it kind of thing. But that's
Yeah.
just because we didn't really have that scene in Houston kind of thing at the time. It was more like countrified. Let's just say that.
What's up, Kevin? Here's some of the He Drop music. Oh yeah, first great album. Love that one. Yeah, Typical Cat's another one. Tribe. I listen to Tribe every time when I'm
I
driving.
got
And
Tribe Called Quest.
yeah, hell yeah. You know what? The early. Who else is another one? Freaking Outcast. I can listen
Oh,
to.
I love Outkast.
Yeah,
But see, Outkast is another one where I want to say I like 90% of the music on their album, and I can remember there was always like 1 or 2 I might have skipped. Like Notorious B.I.G. was my favorite rapper for like the longest. Like, and I want to say it was the same with Biggie. Like there was always like 1 or 2 where it was like, you know, I might have liked 90% of his music, but there was always one where it didn't hit at the time, or I don't know what it was.
yeah. Maroon 5, the first 2 albums. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't go wrong with Bobby Brown, My Prerogative. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I can
that's a
listen to
good
that all
album.
the time. Oh, dude, we have another brother in the show. He wants to see if we hit some of his music.
Hell yeah.
Well, I do have a funny intro for him, so I need to make one for you, Mike. Because I hardly use this anymore, but let's see if I have it right here. I don't even know how to use this anymore. Oh, here we go.
I'm here to see your butt.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Good. What's up, brother?
What's up, Mike? Long time no see, dude.
What's up, Robin? I want to say
Sure.
I ran into you like maybe a month ago, something like that. Not on video, but we were in the chat or something like that. I remember.
A month's too long, though, man, if you think about it.
Not for me. Not for me.
Yeah, we're talking music, showing comics, and moved into music. Where, what's Sheena asked the question? What's your one or a few albums that you can listen from start to finish without skipping anything?
Definitely my go-to for that always is Rancid, Out Come the Wolves. I can listen to that from beginning to end. There's no bad songs on that album, and it's just a great album. I spent I wanted that album so bad I couldn't find it anywhere. Tower Records didn't have, like, they would run out. All my record shops didn't have any in stock. So I had to fucking bite the bullet and go to the mall and buy it at fucking Warehouse Music or something. I spent over $22 on that album,
Yeah,
which I was totally against. But yeah, that album just bangers after banger after banger.
I like how you said Tower Record. Everybody here will probably know it if you're there. See, I knew California. I don't know if they were in any other states.
I don't think so.
So
I
that was
don't
like
think
the
so.
biggest. No, that was like the biggest record place here in California, and
Yeah.
Music Plus
Sure.
was right behind them.
Yeah, you
I'm trying
you
to
can
think of
actually go in there and ask for any album. If they didn't have it, they would order it for you.
Yeah,
Even imports, which they were famous for. Like, you could be like, there's this import from England from the Smashing Pumpkins. It's,
yep.
they would be able to get it. It costs you like 50, $60,
But they'll
but they
get
can
it.
get it.
Yeah,
And it had like damn four songs on there,
yeah.
So, yeah.
But Bobby's correct. Music is life, and we discussed it before. Oh, did
You lost.
I didn't kick him
Right.
out? Did he hit the Sam Goodies? We had that here also. He'll jump back on. I
That's
think
what
he
we
hit.
that. Sheena beat me to it. I was gonna say Sam Goody, like, because I remember back in the day, I was trying to think where we actually had music, and he's back. Like we had Blockbuster Music. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Yeah.
Blockbuster Music.
Yeah.
Like we had Sam Goody. I'm trying to think. We had we had Empire Records. Like it wasn't like tied to the movie or nothing, but it was called Empire. And,
Imagine if Liv Tyler worked there.
Yeah.
Right at the shop. It was like it was at a bunch of malls.
I would have went there for sure. It's
Because
beautiful.
we also covered this on the low grades. What would you give up, comics or music? And surprisingly, everybody said they would keep music and give up comics. And
Yeah.
I think that would be my answer too. Like I
Yeah,
love comics, but if I had to give up the two, music would win over like big time. Music's always been there. And I can get stories in other mediums like movies, games, like just verbal. I think we got enough stories to go around.
Yeah. Gina, I just don't like how short new music is. I know it's a shorter attention span, but when I listen to music, I like to get it. Yep, I 100% agree.
I don't know if I recognize that, like, because a lot of the people I listen to are long in general. I'm a Tool fan, and most
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
yeah, most Tool
They're
songs
so
that they
fucking long.
don't play, they're like 8 to 16 minutes long. So like, but like, okay, so other like, I mean, I think it's like anything that's commercialized, anything that when you hear it off their album, is it going to play on the radio? And that's your answer. If it's something that's going to play on the radio, then it's going to be short. It's going to be like a little 2-minute, 3-minute,
Yeah.
That's kind of my take on that. Like, because I do listen to a lot of people that if we had standard radio today, which we still do, but not like we did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
their hits would be on the radio, like Lady Gaga. I mean, you're telling me off this album she had like 7 standardized hits, like all those like would be on the radio kind of thing.
I think I think she's trying to say there's a minimal percentage now compared to what it was before. I think that's what she's trying to hit. Because yeah, like kind of like a dying breed. Some new music artists don't play long music as long as it. Lady Gaga, I think, is in her own tier where she does.
Yes, she's different.
Yeah,
it's
she's
bad,
different from the rest.
Example.
So it's one of those.
I'm trying to.
It's just weird on that. But another album I listen to, of course, is Depeche Mode and Pearl Jam. The 10 album.
Depeche Mode.
So
I'm
I
not
only
much of a Pearl Jam fan, gonna be honest. But
that's okay.
I mean,
Pro.
you got to understand, dude. When I was in high school, I was very snobby when it came to music. If it wasn't punk rock, hardcore, or ska, I wouldn't even listen to it. Radio. I once I was able to buy my own CD or my own music, radio was gone. I was like, I don't care what they're playing on the radio. The stuff I'm finding in these CDs is way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then like I used to listen to K Rock all the time, but mostly for the morning shows. And then when the
The
music would
talk
come on,
shows.
when the music would come on, I would switch it over or throw a CD in or something like that. But
Yeah.
I think back in the day, record labels shot themselves in the foot because I don't know if you guys remember, but like a lot of these artists were releasing crap, like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not thought out of, and they were short. Even if they were long, they were just not good. And they expected the public to pay $20+ per CD. And I think people got tired of it. People felt like they were getting ripped off.
Yep.
And ultimately, they stopped buying, music when digital came out. Then they had the option to buy the single because they
Yeah.
at least knew that they would listen to the single more than the other stuff on the CD.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it sucks because I know you know that place, Laval's, in downtown Whittier. I used to go there every paycheck and blow like half of my check if I was able to, because sometimes you didn't find anything,
Yeah.
you know. But even when those stores started selling used CDs, I it took me a long time to start buying used CDs. I would have to buy them brand new, fresh in the wrapper and everything. But
Yeah.
then
They'd
I
be
saw
all
all these
scratched
other
already.
artists. Yeah. I saw all these artists that I wanted to listen to, but they were used CDs. And like, sometimes like the barcode would be punched through. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
but I wanted to listen to those bands so much, just because of the label that they were on, or I had heard good things. Like word of mouth was huge back in the day. You
Yeah. It
know,
was.
word of mouth got bands fans pretty much,
Yeah. It did.
because if people weren't talking about you, people didn't know about you. And
I mean,
yeah,
that's how we functioned for like ever before the internet was word of mouth. Like, I mean, that's how pretty much we found out about everything. Video games, like
yeah,
all the secrets. I mean, we didn't have internets to go look up, tutorials on YouTube, and no, I mean, it was all word of
yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Even video games, they had Nintendo Power. You know,
Yeah.
like we didn't have anything
I
like
didn't have it.
that.
But
Yeah,
I don't know if it's true, but I used to go to Rockaway Records in Eagle Rock. That used to be used vinyl and CD place. And he
mm,
told me, I don't know if it's a true fun fact, but fun fact, the hole punches, those were promotional
they
CDs.
were. Yeah,
Yeah. So
and I
when,
know that because when I worked at one time, I worked for 4 record labels as a street team. So we got early CDs that would come out, posters. We even got to go to shows, and all the CDs that most of the time when they sent me a CD, it was hole punched,
yeah,
which
Mm.
I was already buying new CDs, so I didn't really care at the time.
yeah,
But yeah, if you're like one of those purists that like don't like your shit hole punched, then you gotta buy your own copy.
yeah,
you know. And some of them even said, well, the major record labels would put on the CD itself, not resellable, and if the label asks for it back, you need to send it back. Something to that effect. So
Yeah.
you always thought that if you will buy it used, it wasn't yours, even though there was no way of them finding out that you had their CD.
yeah. That's true.
So
What's up, TM? uh, but leave comments later if you guys want to about what's your favorite albums from top to bottom without skipping. I would love to hear what you
no,
guys.
fuck that. Leave them now.
Well, just in case they don't
Period.
want to, but if they do, cool. We could talk about it. But I think it's what Bobby said earlier. I think it was Bobby. It is music is universal. It
Yeah.
hits everybody differently, and yeah, I can't get enough of it. Depeche Mode, I think, just can't get enough. Uh, it's
Did you
something.
mention We Love Men earlier?
Yes,
Holy shit,
that's a
man!
great jam too.
I've
You know what?
I've never heard of them. I thought I kind of chimed in at the wrong time then, because I thought you were coming out or something.
No, it's a girl singing that song
Okay.
that she
Yeah.
loves
Oh,
men.
okay. Nice.
It's a flip view where she loves men, where she can't get a boyfriend. She doesn't want a boyfriend because she wants to meet all different men.
Okay.
It's a disco song. I just love the beat and I like the flip of it because a girl saying, "Nah, I'm a player. I love men. I'm gonna have all my men, and I don't want to settle with one man." So
Yeah.
I just love that song because it was a great disco beat. And when you were a DJ, I used to play it, the turntables with my nephews. It
Oh,
had a
nice.
great beat that fit perfect for a mix to go into another song with the vinyls where people don't remember. Now it's all CDs and digital,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
whack. It doesn't have the
I
same.
know. Like I see the DJs people hire now, and it's like they're not even doing shit.
Mm-mm.
They're just playing a playlist at this
Yeah,
point.
they just
You
push the
know?
button. That is it, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have the same uh, feel when it comes from one song to another. It doesn't have
No,
it.
because being a DJ was like more artistic too. Like,
Yes,
you got to find the beat and mix it in. Yo, what's up, TM? Good to see you, man.
It took
I didn't want my
skill.
holes punch in.
I mean,
Yeah.
just a little like
Yeah, it's
Fader. Yeah.
yeah, totally different. If you a DJ from back then would just work a DJ from now.
Have
And
you guys heard of this new? Well, they're not new. They're from, I believe, Britain or Australia. Wet Leg.
no,
Dude, they won like a couple Grammys already. A lot of people don't know about this band, but that's another album I could play from beginning to end. And they're a newer band.
huh?
So, yeah, check them out. Wet Leg.
Well,
called wet
I'll
leg.
give it a listen too.
Wet Leg, yeah. Two girls, two guys, and they kick ass.
No cups.
And what was it? You or is it Hamilton? You can answer the Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton, yeah.
See, like the way when I first met you, I would bet $1,000,000 I wouldn't think you would listen to Hamilton.
I know. A lot of people are shocked that I even entertain listening to it, but it's great, dude. It's such a good soundtrack. I listened to the soundtrack before I even saw. Well, I mean, you got to see the play, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But that soundtrack, dude, hits hard. It's really good. Beginning
It
and end,
is.
again. Yeah. Is that a beginning and end for you, Mike?
I want to say yeah. That I can
Okay.
remember. I don't know if I remember every song, but I want to say yeah.
Because I feel like once you start playing that album, and you
I don't know if
stop
I've actually.
and if you stop
I don't.
midway, it's like you're stopping somebody from telling a story.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if I've ever listened to the album by itself without the play. Like I've seen the play twice, and I've seen
Okay.
the visual, but as far as
Oh yeah,
listening to it by
Spotify,
itself, I
man.
don't think so.
It's good. I mean, I used to go for long drives at work sometimes and just pop that in, listen to it, and it takes you back to the 17, whatever the fuck the year is back there.
A lot of good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. See, when I get great people, it just freaking turns around and goes to a different way. I love it.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, I started work late today and I finished early. So I'm like, and I saw you guys started the show and I was like, oh, if I have time when I get home, I'll jump on. I'll get on the second half.
Hey, I wonder who does that.
I know, right? But
But
what about like Disney soundtracks? Do you listen? Is there any favorites of yours, JD?
uh, the Lion King.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to James. I can listen to that.
I used to say Aladdin, but now I'd have to say Moana. I love Moana, the soundtrack, especially the song Shiny. I could put that song on and all of a sudden just start singing out of nowhere. Like, nah, but Little Mermaid, I want to say either Aladdin or Little Mermaid. It was like a tie between the two.
Yeah. Little Mermaid is I was gonna say my number one. But The Lion King's up there with that. I can listen to that. Moana's good.
Nobody's gonna say "Song of the South," huh? Wow, that's weird.
I was thinking the old Robin Hood, but not Song of the. I like Song of the South though.
Yeah, I used to have that.
Tarzan.
Oh, nice. The Song of the South. I used to when I was a kid. I had that on cassette with the book, and it was like it was great. I hadn't even seen the movie, but I had
the little like the Fisher Price vinyl.
Yeah.
Like those little like vinyl records, and it came with the book. It was like the same concept. And
yeah. But
that's funny, Bobby. Every time I pass I still call it Splash Mountain. I'll sing that song when I walk by it.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-doo. That's a good song there. And there's like, it's not just that song. There's like 2 or 3 good songs in there. I mean, you can't go back to that, even though there's some like racist ass shit in those old ass Disney movies. Like, there's no doubt about that. And I can even say, watching it growing up, that there was just some iffy stuff in there. You know, we just watched and you kind of overlooked at the time. But like in all those old Disney stuff, the music has always been like on par. I mean, you're talking about Mary Poppins, you're talking about like Robin Hood, like Dumbo, like all the music's always been. I mean, enough to the point where they did Fantasia, like, and that was just, you know, like just animation with music in the background. Like there was no real talking or anything. No, I want to say Disney's always been on point on those 2 things, like animation and music. Everything in between's gotten a little
watered down.
I like Sheena's Goofy movie soundtrack because that's some 90s goodness right there.
Yeah,
that's one of my and me and my brother's favorites. Like that's why if I asked him what of his top Disney movies, he'd probably come out with the Goofy movie. But I do love that soundtrack. But it was like really the first time we got like a new edge sound on Disney. It was the first time they had ever like went with like a common sounding, you know, soundtrack, and I loved it. They came out with good songs.
Did you guys ever watch a documentary about the 2 brothers that used to make the music for the Disney movies?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh man, it's so I forgot what it's called, but it's crazy because there were 2 brothers and they were good at what they did. They just didn't get along with each other.
Oh.
You know, but they had to like work with each other to make these songs, they were great at it. But behind the scenes, they almost hated each other.
Kind of like Oasis.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Oasis, Johnny,
White
the Ramones. You know, like
yeah.
But I wonder if anybody knows what movie that was called.
Yeah, I want to know what the movie because I want to watch it. I just finished watching the documentary about Disneyland being built, where you see Walt building it from scratch, and I was like, of course I'm a Disney fan, so I was intrigued and I watched it. Some people probably be bored by the first like 10 minutes and just turn it off, but to me I loved it because I know where I'm walking. I'm like, I know where I'm at, I know where this is at, because for me it's, you know, different. Even Steve liked the Goofy movie soundtrack. Q-Tip and they were like brothers fighting, like just arguments more, if anything. I think everybody saying hi to each other, but Disney never like missed a part. But man,
it's called The Boys, the Sherman Brothers story.
Oh, okay.
It's on Disney Plus, dude.
I'm gonna check it out.
I mean, that's good. Because you'd be surprised on how many hits they've had, like just them 2, and the fact that they didn't get along is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking on that part. You didn't see that. I wanted to show you guys this cover and see what you guys think. I just picked this up.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
I saw that on something. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, the colors pop, and it reminds me of the Day of the Dead, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
got the whole
They could
sugar
have done with the
skull thing.
done without the three guys up front. But,
yeah, I would have got rid of that, and that would have been even more fire.
oh
Bring
yeah,
bring
man.
that part closer because I couldn't even tell that that's what that was. Go to. Oh, okay. At first, it looked like shadows or something. I was
Yeah.
like, it just looked like
They
yeah, I
don't
could
even
do with
look
that.
Mexican, Mike.
Oh my goodness, he is wearing a mask. Who's to say he's Mexican?
Yeah. I'm gonna read it. So I got pulled in by the cover.
Yeah.
I found out it's Gonzo variant. Shout out to BCC. He
It's
put
got good
this
color
up, and I was
scheme.
like, shoot, that cover is fire. I need to pick it up.
Gonzo is a favorite of mine too.
Bobby likes it.
Nice.
No, I like it.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bobby's read it. All right, cool. Can't wait to read it. But
Those are the sailors that fought
They
with
don't
him.
look like
Right.
sailors.
how about this one? This is right up your alley, Rob.
Oh yes.
Or
Oh
Mega
yeah.
Man X. All right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did see that one
Mike
too.
too, man. You guys are video game
Yeah.
heads, but just like
Oh,
me.
yeah. Do you collect video game covers, Mike?
Not just covers. I collect. I mean, I have that game. I have that whole series on Super Nintendo. But like, I'm more of a Mega Man fan than a Mega Man X fan. My brother was in that genre for the Mega Man X, and I played all of them and liked them. But for me, yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I do like about the Mega Man X is they got the Street Fighter cameo in them. Like how you like if you go through Mega Man X, there's a secret where you can actually gather parts, and if you gather all the parts, you can actually pull off like Ryu's Hadouken. Like
Oh, really?
you can actually yeah, and it's in the game. Like, but there's secret parts. There's stuff that each level you go through, you got to like find the part or whatever. But I think it's like 5 parts, and after you get the part, you can pull off like a Street Fighter move. And it was like
Oh,
a
nice.
earlier cameo.
That is
Nice.
badass.
That's really cool.
How about that one?
Oh yeah.
Hadouken. Black
I
Cat.
don't know why I lag so much on getting the recent Adam Hughes covers, man.
I saw that and I pulled it too.
It's been hot lately.
Little John Romita. Got that at
Can't go wrong with that.
Swiss Comics.
Oh, nice.
I want to go visit them. And then a couple of Capullo cover here. The 1 in 200. Found this at the Atomic Comics for $3.
She.
Valves, baby.
One of my bangers I love. Picked up the Jorge Jimenez 1 per store.
Nice.
And the Court of Owls just got bigger because they're doing like the second release in the Absolute universe. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's the next issue is the big reveal.
Thank you, Sheena. Thank you, Bobby. Found this for $10.
Nice.
Little Capullo.
You bought that on purpose?
Yes. I'm trying to finish 1 through 100. But I went to J&J the other day.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I found this.
I thought you were trying to save money for WonderCon. What the hell?
I was too, but I was bored and I was like, you know what? Let me go to J&J. I haven't been there for like 2 months. And he's all right. All these are brand new, and I went in. They're all $5, $8, $3.
Nice.
So I was like, damn it. And I end up leaving with more than that.
Who's that a first appearance of, though? It's not
the new Bumblebee.
Oh, that's what it is.
Dent gets called Harley. I've been looking for that. I was talking to 22 about that. But I found that. I think I showed this. I picked it up at Spiro's on their live show.
Nice.
Got that for $5. Little King Kirby art right there for $5. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then let's go on with some more hues, right?
Oh yeah.
I
got a bunch of those Star Wars hues at Frankenstein's. The guy had them for $1.
Nice.
And there's a lot. I guess a lot of people didn't know that he did a lot of the covers.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
picked them all out.
And we might about to be getting her pretty soon. Was it in Grogu Man or damn, I can't remember what they revealed her in. It might have been Grogu and Mandalorian.
But this one has like 4 or 5 Darths in here. So
Yeah,
I
it
have
does.
like the other prints of it. I didn't have the first. So I was like, shit, I need that.
That was in Star Wars was at peak. That was like right around the time when they were when Disney was buying Star Wars was when that dropped. So you're at like that 3-year gap where like it all switched and went different.
But I've been going Star Wars all month or the last 2 months.
Nice.
Man. I
I
got
had a
that. Just
raw, but
flag.
I wanted a displayed one, so I got a 9.8 at a super cheap price. Because
Yeah.
everything, like people say, it's a buyer's market right now, and I just throw a price out there where I find some on eBay and this is best offer, and I throw a ridiculous price and they accept it.
Hell
Because
yeah.
they just want money. And I was like, oh, they're not going to take it. And they're all deal. And this is in shopping cart, pay now. I was like, oh shit, I think they would accept it.
Damn.
Yeah.
And then my recent one I just picked up that I threw a ridiculous price on. I have a thanks, Bobby. I have a 9.6 and I have a raw and I have a Spanish version, but I just threw a price out there and again, not thinking he was going to accept it. It is comic shop too, and like in the Midwest.
Mm.
A 9.8.
Ooh.
Nice.
And
Is
this
that
one
the
is the
first?
Rebels.
Yeah, it is.
Appearance.
Yeah.
And I love that cartoon, so I was like, I need to get this. I go, he's not going to take the price, and he did. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take it. And this was back then, this is a $600, $700 book. Like it was going up like crazy. And it died down, and I got it for a steal. So I was like, hell yeah. That's one of my bangers.
Definitely banging. Thanks to bad Star Wars.
Hey, I'll take it all day. I'm still a Star Wars fan.
Me too. I fans complain about like everything after like Book of Boba Fett 3. I've enjoyed most of it. There was some hit or misses.
Well, they shit on everything. Any Marvel movie, any DC movie, anything that they put there. Honestly,
DC fans.
Everything's got inborn hate. Like, no, that's from the get-go. I'm talking about like from actual people that watch the stuff and
yeah.
Because I love Star Wars, but I'll tell you, like Obi-Wan, I want to say I liked 80% of it, but there was a good chunk of it, and I was like, this ain't my Star Wars. What are they doing? Like,
yeah.
No, like I could say Alkalite was kind of the same thing. I liked the majority of it, but there was a couple times it was like, like who's doing this? Like, no. But everything else I enjoyed.
Yeah, I have to agree. But here's the banger of the bang for me, and I know Rob's gonna agree that for me it's a banger.
Oh yeah, nice.
J. Scott Campbell X-Men 1 in 15 variant.
Psylocke.
Yeah, and number
With
2
number
1 that puts it up there, it's Psylocke.
And
yeah. I stopped collecting when this came out, so when I saw it, it was just a great price, and I was like, any wiggle room? And as you know, when you're good with the guy at J&J, he'll give you a great price. And I was just going, I needed it in my collection. I go, you make me spend money every time. I hate you for that, but I love you because of the collections you have for me to get. And he did get me that card that I had when I was a kid, but I really wanted this, and everybody wanted crazy prices for it. So fire.
If anyone gets her pregnant, dude, I mean, it's over for her, dude. She can never go back. Like on that figure right there, like her stomach, just like
it'll be gone.
Yeah.
If she turned around, she'd kill like 80% of most men. She's dangerous. If you would have talked to me in the 90s, almost up to the 2000s. I can't remember exactly when they did the switch, but like she was my favorite character. Like, and it was all because of Jim Lee and the way he drew her. Like, she was just like sexy as like, or like, I can remember defending the comic because she was so sexy. Is like, why was there this need for this girl running around looking like this? And I can remember people looking at that, and I'm like, nah, but you don't get it, man. She's this and she's that, you know. Um, Nah, I like Psylocke all the way up into her switch until they put her back into her original body, and then I was like, oh damn,
Yeah,
damn, damn.
but the banger of the week for me right there.
It's
I
awesome.
Yeah,
love this thing.
it's great though.
And the
You
condition
can't go
is
wrong
pretty.
with
Yeah,
Campbell. You know what I'm saying? It's like
but
huge.
that was the only thing. The other thing, because the construction happened, and yeah, I have a Mondo poster of that cover where where they're in X-Men #1 and the big old spread they have in the inside of the middle where they're in the yeah, like how I did that. They're in the pool area, or they're all.
Solid is tight, dude.
Well, the gym league issue, uh, where the big full page spread there, and you see all of them in their swimsuit outfits. I have that one where it has Psylocke, Rogue, Storm, and they're all their bikinis. That's the part where I was like really loved Psylocke right there.
That summertime issue, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I had that poster on my wall for the longest time from that issue. Like I remember, it was one of the first. You talk about like big comic book purchases in my life. That was probably like my first time I spent a good chunk of money was on that Psylocke poster from that swimsuit like summer issue. And at the time, I remember it was like early '90s, and it was like a $30 thing because it was like it wasn't like a mainstream poster or whatever. Like, but I can say that was probably like one of my biggest first.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I bought every issue. What's up, Trev?
Trav, what's up, dude?
X-Men I did all the way up until like I want to say the 300, something like that. I stayed with X-Men, and it was all because of that 90.
So
It was
far?
one of the first books I fell in love with. Like, I mean, and I just, it was a good read and a good run. I remember like going off because a lot of my experience was coming in from the X-Men animated series and stuff like that. So, I mean, getting the comic book version of the X-Men was kind of like a slap in the face. You learn things really like you learn Sabretooth wasn't this one-off, like, like stereotypical dumb villain, like right off the bat. Like the first, I think, what was it, the fifth issue? He's walking around like a fucking pimp,
Yeah.
and he's already like beaten the X-Men twice because due to his strategy. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, no, it like I can remember reading those first 4 or 5 issues and it was just a slap in the face to everything I knew. I was like, damn, like they just gave us like the most watered down version of the X-Men.
uh,
So, would you say that watching the show pushed you to like collect?
I was already like collecting at that
Oh,
time. It was
yeah.
more like the reading part of it,
oh,
wanting to know like the story and stuff. This was in the comics, like the Dark Phoenix saga was a big part of it. Like to
yeah.
like I want to say like Days of Future Past, even though they hadn't done that, but he had that word of mouth thing that we were talking about after you started talking to friends and they were like, oh, you don't know about Days of Future Past? Like that was the big one. So like actually hearing the difference like that, but I want to say my first couple reads was like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and Ninja Turtles. Those were like the comics that like got me to go to the store. But I could tell you
Yeah.
what kept me at the store was Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine was like my go-to back in the day. And I can remember like that was my first big comic book purchase was getting that Wolverine #1, the 4 issue mini series or whatever, and then I did it again for the '80s series. Yeah. But I want to say those were like my two big was like Spider-Man and Wolverine back like early days, '80s and stuff.
Yeah. I
Nice.
watched all the cartoons, like even the superhero cartoons, and not one of them pushed me to collect.
Oh
You
no.
know,
Never?
no, I never
Oh,
really thought about like collecting. You know, I never knew where to go buy comics or anything like that. I had very few friends that would collect, and their collection was like pretty small because they weren't collecting consistently. It was just like, if they were at 7-Eleven one day, they'd pick up a book or two, that kind of
I could
stuff.
say I run into that, and I can think a lot of people in the chat can like symbolize, because depending on where you live, you might have not
Yeah.
had like, I can say in Houston I did not have that. I had a ton of comic shops. It's like even during the comic boom that we call like that was the 90s. Like I didn't have a lot of comic shops that closed down. So even from the 90s all the way up until the 2000s, there was still a lot of comic shops. Now it's a different story. Like it's starting to dwindle down and stuff. But like I can understand if you were like in an isolated state in a smaller city, stuff like that. And the California thing like surprises me that you had that. Okay, so that goes towards everything your whole life. You've never watched a movie and it's led you to read the book that it was based on, or you've never gone out
No.
and bought a shirt from that movie because you like
Mm.
love the movie so much, or nothing like that.
No, I mean, maybe it was the way I was raised or brought up. We didn't really ask for anything. We got what we got. Um, I think the only thing I really asked for was a NES. And although I didn't get it right away, I got it eventually.
Yeah,
So we just kind of like didn't really kind of ask for anything. I couldn't
I can get
imagine,
that.
I couldn't imagine asking my parents, my mom or dad, to take me to 7-Eleven or whatever to get a comic. I mean, my
My
my joy was taking a few quarters and taking it to the liquor store and playing
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. They had
Mortal
Contra,
Kombat.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat. That was like, or even renting video games at the local movie store.
we did
I
that.
mean, that was our, jam, if you
No,
will.
I did a little bit of all of that. Like, I mean, I've been a video game player my whole life, so video games have always been there. Especially that's one of, as a grown up, that's one of the things I miss from my childhood the most that we really don't have anymore, is like fully functional arcades with those style. Yes, we do have like, these like new age style of like art, but they're more, it's just, for one, it's focused on new games. They really don't have old games. But like I just that whole arcade style setting, the
Yeah,
gloom that was in there, like the
yeah,
cigarette smoke, the weird disco music that was playing with the mirror
and
ball hair.
all the hot chicks that were there, right? Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that was
No,
an added
not,
bonus.
not, not mine. I don't remember no hot chicks in
Mine neither.
mine.
No. When I went to college, there was a really nice arcade that was open 24 hours. So I'd be up at 3 a.m. and one of my friends would be like from Simi Valley, would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Nothing, just chilling. Do you want to go to the arcade?" "Fuck it, let's go." And then like there'd be like five other people that we knew, and it was just so much fun. Even arcades now, like there's an arcade in Pasadena that even has older games. It doesn't give you the same feel that you
Nah, it
got
doesn't.
back in the day. You
Yeah.
know, back then, I mean, now it's like you pay one fee and then you get to play for an hour or the whole day. Back then, we would try to take our own quarters because if you ever took cash just to exchange to quarters, the guy would like you were bugging him. That's all he
Yeah.
did though.
Mm.
That's all he did was exchange.
He
Here's a
was one of
dollar,
those
here's
type
four
of
quarters.
runners.
Yeah, he hated his job for whatever reason. It's so easy though. But yeah, and then they had the Daytona game where it was
Yeah,
like 6 players, I believe, in
yeah.
the seats, and then they had it at like 20 laps, which is great. I mean, but now these arcades just don't like they don't cut it, dude. I even feel bad taking my son to some of the arcades out here because it's just like, oh,
They're not the same.
they're not. I think even Chuck E. Cheese had a better experience than the arcades do now.
Did you ever
Back
go
in
to
I
the
want
golf
to
and
say, I
stuff?
want to say yes. I want to agree with that because I can remember going to a Chuck E. Cheese like early 2000s with my kids,
yeah.
and like it had a better like gaming experience. I
Yeah.
don't know about now. I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese in a while, but
I mean, all these games are rigged at this point. But you mentioned golf and stuff. No, I've never been to golf and stuff. But you remember Golf Land?
Yeah,
So my high school is right next to it.
yeah,
So after school, me and my buddies would go to Golf Land and just play fucking Mortal Kombat, like
yeah,
just different pinball games. They had a good arcade too. So
yeah. They did. And across right by Frankenstein's, this we're hitting similar places from California. That's where they filmed Clerks 2.
oh, nice.
So
Oh
it
yeah.
was little segue to hit all three of us. That's another arcade where you played miniature golf, and they had an arcade inside. Where the little golf carts part from Clerks 2, that's where they filmed it.
Oh
Hmm.
shit. Wow.
That part's probably gonna that place is probably gonna go down too because Golfland was destroyed just recently.
One of my I only have like I've met famous people, especially in comic book artists and writers, but when it comes to famous legit people, I only have a couple stories, you know. But like when I was in college, I was able to like extra in a couple different movies, and I have a similar experience that Robert was talking about where at University of Houston we had an underground and it had like a 24-hour like bowling alley and arcade and stuff like that. They filmed the movie Arlington Road at our college. Like I want to say 30% of the film was filmed there, and I'm an extra in the film. I did a shit ton of takes. I did like 30 takes, and I'm only in the movie for like half a second. Like you can see the back of me in one scene, but I get credited and I got paid for it. So
Do you
okay,
have an
so
IMDb now, or because of it?
yeah, but I'm actually credited. Okay, so the funny thing is about that story, when I was there, I got to meet like the Joan Cusack, I got to meet like Tim Robbins, I got to meet but the cool thing was Jeff Bridges. I mean, he's kind of known as like that video game guy already, you know, Tron and everything. So like when we was there, he took all the extras downstairs to the underground arcade, and he wanted us to show us like the current arcades that were there. He basically like shelled out like free arcade money for us to like play games with him, and that was like my one of my cooler famous people. I got to spend a good amount of time with Jeff Bridges. Now talking to him, I think I got like two sentences in because like after everybody found out he was there, it was like there was originally like 20 of us that he took from the movie set, but I want to say like in a matter of like 5 minutes, like the whole college knew he was there, and this was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. But I mean, I did get to talk to him.
Nice. Would you trade that experience to meet Fred Savage, who did
Yeah, I know Fred
The
Savage.
Wizard? Yeah.
And me and my brother have ties to the Wizard because we were both in that video game tournament.
Oh
We did
shit.
not place very high. I want to say I placed like 23rd out of the
Uh,
100,000, and like my brother was like 43rd. My brother was really young at the time. We both were. And like what screwed us was Super Mario 3. They hadn't explained that we were going to play an all new game at that tournament. It was a good
yeah.
twist of things, and it was a cool thing to do. But like at the time, well, all the games we had practiced for were those standard six, and that was it. And then they threw that new game. Hell no, I scored so low on that shit. Like, um,
Now looking back and knowing what you know now, I mean, dude, you would have tore it up.
hell yeah. Like the
Hell
funny
yeah.
thing is like that's a couple different tournaments. Like we took place in the first ever Blockbuster National like video game tournament, that one, and that one threw like a screwball because that one you either had to choose between Super Nintendo or Genesis games, and like I took the Genesis route, my brother took the Super Nintendo route.
What are you gonna say?
The last game that you oh yeah the last game that you had to play was a Switch. You had to play one game on the other system, and I hadn't practiced at all on the Super Nintendo.
Damn.
My brother placed way higher than me. I think he placed like 8th out of the nation. I placed like 19th, something like that.
Trev said Blockbuster is pretty legit. I haven't been there in a while, and I do remember when they used to have
Dave and Buster's.
Dave
Dave
and
and
Buster's.
Buster.
You said Blockbusters.
Oh,
Blockbuster.
so I saw
Blockbuster
Blockbuster too.
was
Sorry,
legit.
somebody said Blockbuster. Dave and Buster's. I haven't been there in a while. Where they used to have like old school games. I don't know. They probably changed it to newer games, and I know they had like a basketball
It was like a
thing.
mix.
Yeah,
It's a mix. I still go to these places. Like I went to the mall like 2 weeks ago, and they have an arcade there, but it's like I want to say like a lot of the games are like ticket games. They're
They're
not.
like
They're
eight
more like
credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that too. The prices on them, but I want to say there's some. I mean, they do have some newer games. Like they have the space. Most majority of ones have the same one. It's like a Space Invaders one. It's a big ass like tall screen. It's the size of the mall or whatever, and it's like you. There's two like laser looking like guns in front of you, and you just move the guns and shoot. Space invaders as they fall down, and it plays the same as the old school Space Invaders, but the appeal is you play it on like a massive towering screen. Like I want to say the screen at the mall that I play it on, it's like a 3-story size screen. It's tall. Maybe 2 stories, something like that, but it's tall.
Okay.
Wow. That
Like
seems like
you might
over.
like golf and stuff though, Rob, to take your kid. Because
Um,
Well,
yeah, the thing about that is like just to get in, because I driven past it to take my son to like a water polo tournament, and just to get in, it's like you're going to fucking Magic Mountain or something. It's crazy.
it is, and one of the last, I don't know if the games are the same anymore, but they have old school games in there. And number two, the nostalgia, Karate Kid
Yeah,
was filmed there. So that's
yeah.
why it brings in people. But
I,
it's a
I,
cool I go miniature golfing there when I would take my godson. Every time he come down, I go, you want to go bowling or you want to go miniature golfing? Miniature golfing. So haven't done it in a while, but they had old school Rampage game, Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom. Then they had some newer games. They even had the Jurassic Park game where the sit down one. My other godson, who's like 26, he would come with it just to go play that because he loved that when he was little.
oh,
So
nice.
that's another one. So,
I gotta check out Bullwinkles to see how their arcade setup is.
dude, I haven't been there in years.
I know that well they changed the name to Boomers and then something else and then they changed it back to Bullwinkles. So
Oh, I used to love that because it had a indoor miniature golf.
yeah,
Yeah, dude,
you didn't
that's
have to go
been,
outside.
yeah, I haven't been there in like, woo, man, 15 years,
Oh, dude, it's been longer for me for
maybe
sure.
20.
I
But
never been.
but the arcade is gone. I miss those. But
Yeah, I guess it just costs too much to run it. You know.
yeah,
There's not. I don't even think they manufacture enough games to like legitly, unless you're like looking for vintage machines. They do make those like arcade one-ups, but they're not even standard size. I don't even know how they. I mean, that they do. Because there's a growing trend. I don't know if y'all have seen it here and like back in Houston, it was getting bigger, but like pinball. Pinball's been on the rise versus like
Yeah, in California,
arcades.
Mike, it's been pretty famous for a long time. So
Pinball.
yeah,
No, here I want
yeah,
to say it like did. I want to say there were like a good chunk of years where you didn't see pinball machines anywhere. Now it's like you go to
yeah,
like almost every bar you go to, you see like either new pinball machines or you see like vintage pinball machines. I've even had people like ask me questions about like, oh, that's like on new pinball machines. Like they didn't even understand they were making them to this day. But I
yeah.
think those are the two things that had like a resurgence is like vinyl music and pinball machines.
Yeah, there's a coffee shop in West Covina that has vintage or modern and vintage pinball games, but they're all horror themed. So you have like
Mm.
Friday the 13th, Nightmare Before Elm Street, the
The Elvira.
Munsters, Elvira's, yeah. So that's pretty cool that they kind of keep to the theme. But never would have believed that we would get to the point where you're paying $1 per ball in pinball.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
insane to me.
it used to be a quarter for a whole
Okay.
game.
It used to be a
I,
quarter
I
for 3 balls.
Yeah,
I
Then
still
it
I
was
still have the quarter machines everywhere. It's either a quarter or it's 50 cents over here. And I haven't seen a dollar, but like all our laws are still quarter. But like my issue is like I never have 4 quarters or a quarter, or you have
that's
to go ask
crazy.
somebody for
Yeah,
change.
they all have bill changers now though. So that's cool.
Nah, none of my
I don't know.
places. You have to go. They want you to go to the bar. They're hoping you'll order something to drink, or But like I have one of those like It's a coffee shop as well, and like this one, it's like it's a mix of vintage and new machines, and then it's like I want to say it feels like every other week they switch like 3 of them out. So you'll come one week and they'll have like 8 machines out, and then you come like another couple weeks and they'll have like a different set of machines out. So it's kind of refreshing in that sense, but. I was kind of mad because they had the Dragon's Lair like pinball machine and the original one, not like a remake, but and they took that out. I was like, yeah, I love that because you actually get to watch the Dragon's Lair movie as you're playing the pinball machine.
No,
Robert got a phone call.
Yeah, but no, San Diego. When I went to San Diego Comic-Con, they had a dedicated floor, like a room. It was just straight pinball games. They had like maybe 40 in there, which was cool.
All the fan expos. They've done the same thing here, where they have like either a room or a floor dedicated to just pinballs.
That is cool. Yeah, see, he was talking about it. Yeah, he told me about it, and we went over there, and I was in there with Doreen, and we were just playing there for a good hour and a half. And it was like, hell no, I'm gonna stay. I want to play a couple more games.
They do something at SDCC it's the only place I know they do it, because like it's also near the capital, like because Seattle and Washington and all that and California are the 2 main like ports to video games. Like Nintendo has quarters in Seattle, Sony's is in California. So for San Diego Comic-Con, like a bunch of the video game like content creators show up there, and I know Pink Gorilla and Rock Metal Jesus shows up, and they're like the 2 of the biggest like video game like as far as old school is concerned. But they do I want to say it's the second night of San Diego Comic-Con, and I don't know what hotel it's at, but they usually rent out a block. It's usually like 1 block, and it happens in the middle of an intersection, and they shut down the intersection and they turn it into like a massive area that you can go in there and play video games and stuff, but it's outside. But I think they've done that the last like 5 or 10 years at San Diego Comic-Con. It's the only place they do it at. It's like, damn it.
Yeah. You can actually, you don't even have to go inside, and you can be outside and have an experience with everything that they have out there.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But that's some good stuff though. I showed everything. We were talking video games. I'm gonna see if Robert jumps on. I'm gonna probably have to go to dinner soon.
Me too, brother. Me too. I'm good to go. You said this was gonna be a 30-minute stream, and it's been an hour and 38 minutes.
I know. No, I want to say I thank you with the chat and all you guys. You guys made this fun and just made my 30-minute stream to an hour and 30 minutes. It's hanging out. That's the best part, when we just talk about stuff that we love, and it just always makes it float, like fly by with like nothing.
It does. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I hopped on here, knew I was going to get you talking.
You know me. I can listen and talk to anybody, especially you, Robert, everybody in this, people that I talk to. We could just get that and going, man, and it's freaking hilarious. There's an arcade that says of the hotel was free play for 12 to oh dang, that's cool.
Yeah, I never had a place like that.
Yeah, I remember Circus. I didn't know the Excalibur was like that. That's cool. Thanks, Will, brother. Thanks for dropping by, man. But yeah, video games always been part of my life. I love video games, but those covers, when you see the Super Nintendo, hell yeah.
It's a Capcom Marvel shirt.
Over here, I have a little shrine of my video games. It's in that box.
Mine's over there. Mine's on a different wall. Like I always show the comic stuff I have, like, but I have a video game shrine as well.
Yeah, I know you're a video game head. Dude, Circus. Yeah, I would go down and just play, but I totally forgot. I didn't know that Excalibur had it. That's crazy. What's your now I'm gonna bring up, we brought up Sheena brought up favorite album, top 5 games that you would play, that you could play that never lost time for you? Like it's never dwindled after all the years. Is there certain games that you keep on playing?
Yeah, okay, so I'm not big on that. Like I see nostalgic and stuff like that as a bad drug. Like I try and do new all the time.
Okay,
That's
then
not to
yeah,
say
yeah.
all Wait, that's not to say all the time, but when it comes to video games, like I'll like, and it kind of gets fuzzy because when you beat a game, then there's new game plus. I'm not considering that, okay? But like normally when I beat a game, I move on to the next one, and like I continually do that. There's been in my video game like history, there's been mass amounts of times where I spent too much time on one game while others came out during that time, and now I'm in the process of like going back because I miss these games. But the easier way to answer is like my favorites, and like for me, it's Zelda. Like all Zelda games throughout the years, there's never been like, and I'm talking about even the Game Boy games, the Game Boy Advance, but like there's never been an addition in the Zelda games that I didn't like and that I couldn't go back and play again or revisit. Now mine's a little opposite on like what my tops are because I was there from the beginning. So my love are like the first couple, the NES, the two that dropped on NES, the Link to the
Mhm.
Past on Super Nintendo. And most people is like Ocarina of Time. And honestly, it's what it's I wouldn't even say I don't even think it makes my top five kind of thing. It's up there, maybe like top 10 games. But for me, Wind Waker on that system, Majora's Mask was the bigger game. Majora's Mask to this day is one of my favorite games. Like it's we were talking about CDs that I have, and I told you I only have five. The soundtrack to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is one of those five CDs I own. And I also have it on vinyl. Like I love Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Um, but like my top Zelda games are the like the ones that are least liked. My top Zelda game is probably like Wind Waker. If I had to say, it's like Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker. And Breath of the Wild is famous now, but like I've always enjoyed like the different ones. Like the Legend of Zelda 2 was a big one for me, and the only reason is because it was side scrolling. But a lot of the reason is because we got a lot of art tied to that game. The first game, there wasn't a lot of marketing. There wasn't a lot of like, we had like articles in game Nintendo Power, and we had like some
Yeah.
articles in Game Pro and stuff like that. But there was very little. It wasn't until like the second and Super Nintendo that we actually got like more of like a comic book feel to it. And honestly, when you look at the art from Zelda 2, it has it's more, it reminds me closer to a D&D story than it does any of the other, because it's more set up with his shield, his sword, his armor is even a more medieval looking than not the all the bad guys in that game. They're more medieval looking. Like he had the knights with the
Yeah.
full like helmets. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of favorites, but a lot of my like I had a lot. There's one, okay, like Aaron. I don't know if you know like Radar.
Mhm.
Um, so like he's one of my video game buddies and Stephen King buddies. But like video games, that there's some where it's like, oh, well, suggest a game, and I've suggested a game, and he's attempted it, but he hasn't like fully got into it. But one of my favorite games of all time is also like one. It's like it's a love-hate story because it's also one of my like worst hated games of all time. But near but near Amada is another game. I have played that twice, but so there's a reason. The game has an ending tied to every letter in the alphabet. Like there's a A ending, a B, a C, a D. So there's a lot of endings in the game. And the way they did it is you don't get the full story until you get a lot of those endings. Some of them are just joke endings and stuff like that, but a lot of them are like, oh, okay. And it does explain important pieces. So it gets you to replay the game a bunch. Um, when you make it to the very last ending, the game gives you a choice. And it's for me, it's one of the worst video game choices I've ever had to like you, because they basically ask you, hey, you could help out some new player with all this knowledge that you have about this game, but we'll have to wipe all your data like to do this, and what they're talking about achievements, they're talking about like your save file. It would be like after you make that choice, it's like starting the game up from brand new, and it's something you have to do to get all those endings, and it's like to actually go through that and accomplish everything, and then after you do it, you have nothing to show that you actually did it. It would, like, and especially in a day and age where we live in a video game world with trophies and achievements, it was a hard thing to do. But it's also one of my like fondest video game experiences of all time because of the weirdness that it involved. What about
Nice.
you?
Zelda's the whole series is one of my favorites of all times. I love playing everyone. Uh, Turbo Graphics made a similar one called Utopia, which
I like Turbo Graphics.
yeah, I love playing that game.
Splatterhouse, baby.
Oh yeah, another great game that I used to play. Or Bonk. I used to
Yeah,
love playing that.
Bonk was good.
Yeah. So, but Zelda's right up there. I love playing just fighting games. But like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat is always there. But Streets of Rage has a connection for me on Sega. That
I love Street
reminds
for Rage.
my great times with my nephew. So I have a touch, a sentimental love for that game with that and the X-Men game. So those are like top tier for me. But
Did
those
you
are
see that they're dropping a collection of games that include the X-Men arcade game? It's gonna have like the two Sega Genesis like Spider-Man games, which were the Maximum Carnage and Separation Anxiety. It's gonna have like the Nintendo game Silver Surfer. It's gonna have, I think it's gonna have the X-Men game, but then it's gonna have the Spider-Man and X-Men like Nintendo game. It's gonna have like a couple Game Boy games. I think it releases pretty soon though. But to
I
get all
can't
that,
can't wait for that to come out. The only
oh,
thing
and
is,
it has
I,
the Captain America, the arcade version as
yeah,
well.
oh,
I mean,
that's
definitely worth the pickup. I just don't know if they're gonna release it on Steam only or if it's gonna be
It's on
for physical.
consoles, but that's where the complaint comes from me, because for me and JD, we wouldn't be able to play it because it's only going to be on like new systems. So Switch 2, PS5, and Xbox One X
Oh, you guys got
and
to get on it
PC.
then. That's
Well, I've
on you
had
guys.
PS5. I just got to get it again. Yeah, but like, and I think it drops like November or something like that.
Yeah, and it looks like that GI Joe one went away.
I know.
Remember
I was
that
waiting
Should
for
one?
they
that.
they've dropped a bunch of them. Should they got a
No,
He-Man
no,
one
yeah,
coming
but
out?
He-Man one looks fucking amazing. But
Yeah, it does. You could be
the
She-Ra and He-Man.
yeah, but JD was excited about the GI Joe one, which that was supposed to be released physically on limited run, and somehow everything from
They
that
backed out of it.
disappeared. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can always pick that up digitally. But I'm more of a physical person,
Yeah.
You can still get it physical, but have you seen the prices?
No,
And they're like ridiculous because they're all like prototype prices from limited run.
Mm.
and
Well,
then
Something had to do with like Hasbro, and something else was why they had to back out of the deal or something. It was a licensing issue.
wow.
oh, so you get
That,
Steve
that's why
all
they shouldn't announce it before they are able to
no,
release it.
and it looked like the old school games, which was like Ninja Turtles, X-Men, the arcade game. So I was getting
Yeah.
excited for that. I was like, oh, okay, there's something I want to pick up.
So the He-Man one looks
Yeah, it
like
looks
the
the same.
same, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah,
I mean, He-Man looks fucking huge.
yeah, that one
Yeah,
looks
they
nice.
actually have like a map and all kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
because they've done a couple of recent ones. Like, I don't know if y'all picked up the Marvel Cosmic Invasion one. They have that right now. It's on sale for like $20, and it's done by limited run. But it's the same thing. It's like a Streets of Rage, like that type. It's a beat 'em up where it's like
Oh,
you and up to 4 friends. And
Oh, I
they
can
came
try
out
that.
with that one. They did like a Terminator one. The Terminator one got pretty good praise. But they've been doing a lot of those like beat 'em up with like old school aesthetics. Like now they're doing the He-Man one. They've already talking about doing a Thundercats and a Silverhawks. Like, I imagine we'll probably get every franchise you could think about.
Bringing all the '80s nostalgia.
Powerpuff Girls.
looks like JD's getting a Switch too now.
No, I'll get a PS5 before I get a Switch too.
You should, just for what you'd be able to do on it versus, because there's so many complaints about like like what the Switch 2 can do. And I love Nintendo and everything, but like trying to compete with what the other systems are doing, no, it's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that they lost Hulu. They lost,
Yeah,
I think maybe YouTube. I'm not sure.
YouTube, I think so.
But
Yeah, they lost all the streaming. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
but I don't like what they did. Like they cut off what PS4 now off of their freaking online system.
Not yet. It's still there, but it's
But
gonna
they are.
happen. I wanna say the beginning of next year, something like that. We still got some time, but it's happening soon.
But when you get your PS6 in, and then you're gonna drop 5, and I have a 5, you're gonna drop me. I'm like,
Okay,
if
so
anything,
fortunately, thanks to AI, is the current culprit or the current scapegoat, however you want to look at it. But like, supposedly, we're not getting PS6 until after 29 or something like that. They pushed it back like I want to say 3 or 4 years, and their excuse is due to ROM space, like because of AI or something like that. It was something that was released like a month ago or something like that.
I mean, it's not really. They could take all the time they want because they're going to be like the only system being like the new system being released.
yeah,
There's not going to be
Technically,
any new Xboxes.
no,
Switch 2
there's no
came
talk
out.
about it. Yeah, there's no talk about Xbox. There's no, I
Well,
mean,
Xbox
Switch 2.
announced that they're not going to do
no,
consoles anymore.
they're
No,
just doing software.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has to pick up the game and just get away from what they've been doing the last 15 to 20 years, and just get into the next gen and just do it, because they have the following with Mario Brothers, Zelda. They have those followers. Just get them into a bigger CD, make the graphics better, and you can do the other games because you have Xbox making software to bring it over to you. I understand you're trying to make it family friendly for Nintendo, but if you want to survive, you got to move up, and
Yeah.
they have to do that.
But
their big issue is like sharing.
Yeah.
When it comes to like other publishers, it's been there since God, like the 80s or whatever. There's
GameCube.
been
Yeah.
well, GameCube made it worse, but I want to say they started back in like Nintendo times. But like, I want to say like, and especially like the last 10, 15 years, they've got like like, if we didn't copyright, like if you don't have copyrights, rights to this, you can't look at it, touch it, mention it, that you talk about how many streamers they've killed just by playing their games kind of thing, or, like trying to advertise their merchandise, and they've gotten canceled. Like, no, it's crazy.
Yeah.
They did not give a fuck.
I want to say the adult part of it used to be a thing, and that was a big issue with the GameCube. That's why the GameCube didn't go anywhere, is because they didn't want to make that leap to, staying
Blood.
family friendly to having adult,
But then you have games like BMX Triple X, which you can have riders that are nude, like,
yeah,
and you could control how much their boobs bounce. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder where the line is now.
Yeah. Maybe that one just slipped through the cracks.
It was the later stages. That's what it was. They didn't care at that point.
Yeah. Oh, well, thanks guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
We're not gonna hang out anymore, or what's
I'm
going
gonna
on?
hang out with you later on today.
Oh, okay. Well, good, because James isn't gonna be there, so.
Oh, okay. I'll be there.
All
I
right.
need some support. Yeah, Bobby's right.
Got it. All right, Mike. Let's close it out, brother. Where can everybody find you?
Nowhere. I'm hardly online right now. But my channel, yeah, if you want to, there's tons of videos of my older stuff.
And if you ever want to play Fortnite, you can find my brother right there.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
don't play
Rob.
Fortnite.
Where can they find you?
You can catch me Everything Comics on the Edge right here later on tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific. We'll be doing the low grades today, and with the best community chat ever. Yeah, but we we do our thing every Fridays, and it's a nice place to hang out if you don't have anything else to do. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks you two for making this a 2-hour stream, which was fun. The
You
chat.
got a lot to say, JD. What do you want me to say?
No, I appreciate it. It made my day fun. Made
Yeah.
those 2 hours fly. I thought we were only on for maybe 20 minutes because I was just going to show my books and get out, and it turned out to be an amazing day because we just geeked out on video games and comics,
And music.
And what more, what better way to do than hanging out with friends and just talking that. And
For sure.
the chat, man, you guys are fire as always. Thank you for hanging out, especially chiming in with the music, but leave comments of some of your greatest albums because I wouldn't mind dabbling in different genres, which I probably am knowledgeable, but I might be missing some amazing music. Like Rob's throwing some stuff out, which I have to always like Google and check it out because I might be missing some amazing stuff that I might love. But you guys can't thank you enough. You guys are my brothers. I appreciate you guys.
Also, JD, if you guys can all do me and Steve a favor and jump on our show called The Beauty on Hulu. It's an amazing show. Me and Steve geeked out about it the other day. I'm caught up now, but it's probably the best show on TV right now. So if you're not doing it, do yourself a favor. What's up? What's up, Mike?
It's good TV. I'm watching.
Oh, you've been watching it? Nice. Hell yeah, dude.
Ryan Murphy, come on, man.
No, Santana, another one. Yeah,
go,
for sure, dude. Beasties, I listen to them. Santana, I listen to them. And Robert, don't tell me
the chicks are flawless.
No, but thanks, guys. Check out that TV show so Rob can love you even more.
Yeah.
Till there, later, guys. Catch you guys next time.